It is now time for our Ole Penn Athlete of the Week, and this week it is Colton Burns. He is a swimmer for the Aberdeen boys swim team. He had 2 individual wins and a relay win and a team win on Saturday.
Nice.
Congratulations to Colton. And Justin, I hope you talk to somebody because I don't know much about swimming.
Well, a lot of this information comes from the Daily World, so thank you to the Daily World for putting this information out. But I also did have a brief conversation, a little text conversation with the head coach of the Aberdeen boys swimming team earlier today. So I'm just going to give you some bullet points about things that happened. This is pretty cool. The way this team is constructed. Aberdeen scored 85 points in a dual meet on Saturday, topping Mark Morris, Hoquiam, and R.A. Long. Colton Burns, who is our athlete of the week, won the 200 individual medley, the 100 freestyle, and was a part of the 200 free relay team with Elijah Olson, Tyler Bates, and Russell Bates. Tyler and Russell Bates each also picked up an individual win and teamed up with Foster Patterson and Isaac Brandt to win the 200 medley relay.
Wow.
For Hoquiam, Zach Parker won the 100 fly, and Tommy Wallace won the 100 breast. Aberdeen Hoquiam coach Rob Burns was quoted in the Daily World as saying, "This was a great day to be a Bobcat and a Grizzly. The entire team has worked very hard in this short season. Mark Morris is a great program. To come away with a win today, especially in a hard-fought competitive meet, is big for this team."
Wait, so Aberdeen got the win.
Yeah.
Did Mark Morris take second?
Yes, Mark Morris was second, and it was pretty close. I think it was like 85 to 82 or something like that. But the way this team is constructed, I think is kind of cool because I was confused after I read the article, like, is Aberdeen Hoquiam one team? Are they 2 separate teams? Because Rob Burns is the coach of both of those teams.
And no relation to our athlete of the week.
And no relation to our athlete of the week. It's just a coincidence. But it's interesting because he told me that they are basically, they practice together. They function basically as one big team, the Aberdeen and the Hoquiam kids together. But then when they have a meet, they compete separately. But they're basically one team. So it's kind of cool to see that, the schools, because I'm assuming that since there's only 2 boys on the Hoquiam swim team, they probably wouldn't have enough interest to have their own team. Mm-hmm. So to know that they can be incorporated into it and that this sport, which is a little more off the radar sport that can really thrive and grow and kids can be interested in it and participate in it. And so huge shout out to Rob Burns for making this happen for this combo team. And major congratulations to Colton Burns for his success in leading his team to a win.
Absolutely. And first, I want to have Andrew talk about, so you had a kind of a similar thing when you swam. Because
when I swam until my senior year, it was a combined team of all the high schools in Grays Harbor. We had a few kids from Hoquiam and a kid from Monty, and then the bulk of the team was from Aberdeen, and it was but it was all one team, and it was the Grays Harbor Buccaneers.
And you guys had some sweet logos.
Yeah, skulls and crossblades, black and gold colors. But then my senior year, there were no kids from any of the other schools, and I was not aware that there were Hoquiam swimmers now, which I think is awesome that they're able to swim. At that point in my senior year, it was just the Aberdeen Bobcat swim team, and so yeah.
That's awesome. Now, I want to ask you some questions about these events that our athlete of the week, Colton Burns, was in. So
I'll try to answer them.
I know they're going to be pretty basic because I don't know anything about swimming, but I'm super excited about seeing this success because Aberdeen has had a good swimming program for a long time. I mean, since you were a part of it is when I first started paying attention, and I learned about some of the swimmers back then. But Colton Burns won the 200 individual medley. And what is the medley?
Medley is where you swim all 4 competitive strokes. So in the 200 medley, he's swimming 50 meters. I think it's meters in high school. 50 meters of each stroke.
Okay.
And you just no pause between them. You go
It's
down and back in each stroke.
Is it in
So you don't have to go one fly stroke, then one breast stroke, then one other one, and
no, it's no, not like that. You have to do them all together for 50. 2 lengths of the pool, back, down and back. It is, you start in back,
okay,
then breast, then fly, then free. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to think through that in my head, envisioning this. I'm pretty certain that's the order.
So to win that particular event, you're very well rounded.
Yes. Yeah, you have to have all your strokes. You have to be fast at everything. And also you need to, like, 200, it's not a long distance race, but a 200 is like, it's getting into like that middle length, and then you're doing all of the strokes, so you're not able to like focus on, like, it's easier to do 200 of one stroke, generally speaking, than to do 50 of each all in a bunch of rows. So it ends up being that's really, really taxing. It's like 4 sprints in a row, each with a different stroke.
Oh, that's really cool. And awesome to learn more about it too, because I mean, even when Andrew was swimming and I was becoming friends with Andrew, I like went and watched him swim once. And he outtouched a person by like 100th of a second or something like that.
So is a 100 freestyle? Is freestyle just like regular swimming?
That's what you're thinking of. Yeah. Freestyle is like a crawl stroke.
Okay.
So those are the two
And
wins
actually,
wins.
I believe I'm actually second guessing this now. I'm like 80% sure that freestyle could be any of the other ones. It's just that the crawl stroke is the fastest way to swim, and that's why they call it freestyle, I believe.
Okay, so they get to pick whichever one, technically?
Whatever they can do to get through the water.
Could I do a doggy
think
paddle?
You could, and you would lose, but you wouldn't be disqualified. Whereas some of the other, like if you take an overarm stroke when you're swimming breaststroke, you're going to be disqualified because you didn't follow the rules of the stroke that you're competing with.
Okay.
Gotcha. So the medley relay would be each swimmer swimming a different one.
Yep.
But
That's literally 4 sprints.
Yeah, and then
It's really fun to watch.
The other one that he was in was the 200 free relay. So that's
That's 4 sprints of
the freestyle.
The freestyle, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So congratulations again to Colton Burns for getting the 2 event wins and then the relay win as well in the boys' victory over Mark Morris. And Andrew, I'm assuming Mark Morris was a team that you swam against. I mean, they seem like a team that would have a good swim team. For some reason, when I heard Mark Morris, I was like, Mark Morris. And I felt like they'd be good
So
swimmers.
what's funny is
I don't know why I felt that
Because
way.
you knew a guy named Mark once, and he was a really fast
good
swimmer.
I was thinking about
His
this,
brother
and
Morris.
I don't actually remember swimming against Mark
Okay.
Morris. We swam against Kelso.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So,
And
did
so
you
I-
guys
but I
maybe
don't
swim in
know-
a higher
I don't-
classification?
I don't know. We may have
Because you guys were a big combo
have.
team,
Yeah.
like drawing from different schools. Maybe you had to swim a class up.
I probably didn't even know at the time, honestly.
I just jump in the water. and I
Andrew just
swam.
jumped in the
I
water
just
and swam.
swam.
Yep. Okay, so congratulations again to Colton. He is our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week.